Shalom, Miss Pacha. Tonight I have a very important message and something that has been put on my mind that I need to speak. And it has to do a lot with my journey, which started in Hawaii when I came to the truth, but it also, I believe, has to do with all of us. And in some way, I think that this message is going to really help each and every one of us. I really do pray that there's going to be something in this message for each and every one that watches this. And it really has to do with our journey to find truth and to follow the truth of Yahuah and Yahusha. All right. And I won't go into details of all of my testimony because a lot of you already know a lot of my testimony. But what I want to share tonight is this. I made a video about 2 years ago, which I think YouTube actually gets it wrong. It's a little more than 2 years ago, I believe. But I called it Unplug or Be Unplugged. That was the title of the video. And at the time, the reason I was led to make this video was because in learning about Yahuah, he showed me that I had to leave the matrix, the world behind. I had to drop all of the traditions and all the things that I have done before, all the sin, all the hatah, all the things that I needed to separate myself from, because that's what he was doing in me, was he was making me to be separate. All right. And I didn't know how to fully understand what was being done, but he put that in my ruach to unplug. Okay. It's just as it says in the scriptures, to pick up our tab, our stake, our cross, and follow him. Right. And the scriptures tells us how to do this. It tells us how to live our lives. It tells us how to, live by the right rulings, the commandments. It tells us all of this. And basically in that video, I was also showing that I had to unplug from all of the comforts I had, meaning the $52,000 brand new vehicle, this truck that I always wanted. I had to unplug from all these things because the amount of time and money it took me to acquire those things and keep them was really, in the bigger picture, like a distraction from Yahuah, because we are not here to gather treasures from this place. We are here to be a servant of the Most High, to share his Besorah, to learn of him, and to walk as he did, and to unplug and walk away from all these traditions of men and all these things that we inherited, right? It is so beautiful when you really think about it. I look back now at my journey when he first got a hold of me, when Yahuah really started teaching me. And I feel one of the first things he was doing was he was just cleaning out my vessel. He was just cleaning me out, saying, all right, I'm going to start building you up. But first you need to get rid of this and you need to get rid of that, And I look back and I see it, and that's exactly what he did. He renewed me. He restored me back. And now he's building me up. He's building me up with the truth. And he's making me to be strong, even in my weak days. I can tell you, and I will explain this more in this video here, I can tell you, everyone, that I have had struggle after struggle. I have had challenge and testings like you would not believe in these last 4 or 5 years. Since 2020, when all of the world changed, everything changed because of all of the abominations and the things that were happening with the COV. But he was really showing me, and I have since then, I have cleansed a lot of the words that I use. I have done all these things. It's not me, actually. He has done all these things to restore a new language in me, as he has said that he will do. And eventually, we will speak a pure language, you know? And we will be a pure people. We will be his people. And so, I would encourage you, I'm going to remind you a few times in this video, to please go watch on my community page. I put a link to the video I'm talking about that I made a few years ago. It shows my life that I once lived in Hawaii, and the beaches, and what I used to do for woodworking and things. I had a business. But I left the 3-bedroom house and the car and the money and all those things. And now I have done so many different things since I've moved here to California, but I also went to Texas for a while, and I had work there, but it was only for 3 months. And, you know, I had all these different things that happened, but I've never really made too much money since then. And it's been okay, because it's not about the money, the currency, I should say. I don't even like to say that the money word, but the root of all evil, everyone, is the debt system that they put on us. And what it really does is it keeps us distracted. It keeps us to where we can't do the work that we are really here to do, which is the work of our Abba and his Dabar, his word. You see, the enemy wants to come to kill, steal, and destroy, to distract you, to keep you away from the Most High's word. And I know better, because I am not deceived. I will not be deceived, because of the covering that Yahusha has put upon me. And when you walk in his ways, you are guided and protected. And so when you really think about it, what's happening, you know, like everyone has watched that movie, The Matrix, but it's even deeper than that, because they are trying to suck the energy out of you. They are trying to harvest you, and they're even wanting to turn you into something other than who you were created to be. They want to turn you into like a commodity, right? Transhumanism, whatever you want to call it, but they want to change your DNA. They want to do all these things that is against the Most High. Okay? But before I get into saying some words that might flag this video, I'm just going to leave it at that. And what I'm going to say is that there is so much that we have to come out of, people. We have to come out of the false religions. We have to come out of what basically the mark of the enemy really is not just what they're doing to people with the pokies, but also it really is the opposite of what is in Scripture, meaning that our Messiah has a mark. He has made it clear what his knowledge and his wisdom is, what his Turah is, and that the Sabbath day is to be remembered. The Sabbath day, the Shabbat, is something that is like essentially his mark upon us, his sign, his token. Because if you go search that up, you'll see. Because from the beginning, the enemy has sought to destroy all those that were keeping his ways, that were keeping his Sabbath. But moreover, now the enemy is trying to create everything the opposite and copy the Most High. The enemy is trying to do this. And he has made a graven image. He has made something that has been instilled in everyone's minds. The Chai Zai Zigma and all these things that you go and research about the anti-Mashiach and all those things. You will see it if you just study, if you just go and understand what is really happening with. Now you see the A and the I and all this kind of stuff. But we have to unplug from all of it. At some point, it's all going to go away anyways. And so that's what I felt in the very beginning of this, is that why would a person want to spend their whole life in this debt system to try to get ahead and gain a house or gain the American dream or whatever you want to say, but then lose your whole soul, as it says in the scripture? Everything here will rust and be moth-eaten. Everything will be burned. There is nothing of value here. The only value that we should be seeking is the value of salvation, Yahusha, from the Most High, right? That is the only true life. High. That is how you say it in the Hebrew. The Abari is our high. And without life, you will not have anything. So unplugging from everything. Like right now, I can tell you, I am over $1,000 overdrawn in my account. I have no money whatsoever, guys. But I don't say these things to have you feel sorry for me. It's because I haven't found the work that I need to even pay off my debts completely. But what is work? You see, when we work for a 9 to 5, we're just working for the system. So I've figured out that the Most High is doing this to me and making me to be low so that I can be built up. Because working for the system never ever will get you anywhere. Even if you paid off all your debt, you still owe something to someone, taxes or whatever. So what we should be doing now is working, but not working for others. Meaning, we have to do the work of the Most High. We have to do His work, His Basora, being a vessel for Him. Because if you work for the system, the enemy will keep you in that. And I'm not saying that people can't work to feed themselves. I'm saying that I'm starting to realize in this journey that if I can just stay busy and feed myself and do the things I need to do, I don't need anything else. I have a talent, but I haven't even been able to use it as much over here with the woodworking because there's just been so much happening. You know, for instance, you know, at this very moment, I have my mother, she's sick off and on because she's dealing with some health issues. And so I've had to, you know, help her with that. I've had to help my uncle recently because he has some health issues. And the only reason I say these things is because this is part of what Yahuah has me doing. And it all is to teach and humble me. I have all these things that I can look at and say, man, I'm in such trouble. Financially, I just don't, things aren't working for me. And I said, why is that? Because I've always been successful, but it's because I don't want to do certain things also. It's because I'm not going to submit for working for certain people and things that is contrary to what Yahuah would want me to do. But also, Yahuwah's will is being done in our lives, even if we don't realize it. Okay, so I believe the reason we don't, get these breakthroughs all the time of having this job or that job is because Yahuwah is really separating us. He is really trying to unplug us from this system to get us ready for the ancient ways of growing our own food and just being like not worrying about anything. Because all of this that we see, everybody, I mean, all of it is going to be toast. Someday, sometime, everything is going to be toast, but it's going to be destroyed. But he's going to build it back for us. He's going to gather his elect. He's going to put them in the place of his land where he will be the king, and he will provide food. He will provide so much abundance. But the enemy, all they do is take. They take and they destroy everything. And every effort and every work that you do, it never is enough. But with Yahuwah, he sees all that you do, and he's storing this up for you. It's like you have a bank account of a savings account with the Most High. Every time you do those tube things, you're being a tube Samaritan, a good Samaritan. He sees it, and he's writing a sefer, a book about these things, right? So, my message really is, love the process, everyone. I'm starting to realize that we just have to be still sometimes and be like, yeah, everything's just kind of falling apart, but it could be worse. I have a roof over my head. I have, comfort. I have tools. I have some things. I don't have as much as I used to, but I'm still okay with it because I know that there is a season for everything. There is a season of these things. And a lot of people say, oh, if you're not getting this and you're not getting that, then you're not blessed or you're not Baruch. That's not true. Yahuwah does this to test us and to refine us. I think the people that are going through more now are the ones that are going to come out refined. I think the ones that, on the opposite of that, I think the ones that are going through life and they're just having no issues, and they're just they're making all kinds of money, and they may have a little bit of stuff here and there, but a lot of those people aren't being tested, And so I guess what I'm trying to say is we have to acknowledge that we are being separated and we are coming out of this system. All of the lies that we have inherited, right? And we have to let the Most High build us up. Build us up to be humble and meek. Build us up to be his creation and his version of character. Because that's what it's all about, is that we want to do away with the old man and the old heart, the old lob, and let him create in us a new, contrite heart, lob. And so in order to do that, we have to surrender. We have to unplug ourselves from everything. And it's going to be hard. It's going to be painful because we're used to so many comforts and so many things, but we're not here to impress people. We're not here to say, oh, look at this fancy this or this fancy that thing I have. None of those things are important. And I guess what I really wanted to say also is that we are losing so much in this world, but it's by design. We are losing all the things we don't need. But Yahuwah is going to repay us with the things we do need. And that's just how I feel at this moment. I feel that he was once telling me to unplug from the system, and I feel like I'm still doing that, but there came a time, and I feel like that's really now, when he's building me up and he's strengthening me to be that witness, to be that vessel that is all about his work, and letting him and his Ruach HaKodesh speak through me. Being useful to my neighbors and my brothers and my sisters, my Ach and Akut. Being one that honors your father and your mother. Giving forgiveness to our brothers and sisters, even our real brothers and sisters that offend us, or whatever may happen. We have to forgive people and be the light. And the only way we can be the light is if we stay in the Word and let the oil, which is his Word, be in us. It says in the scriptures for us to keep our lamps lit. And that's exactly what we have to do. But now I feel that we have to shine this light and not put it under the bed or any of those things. So I do say this again, even as I did 2 years ago, unplug, because this system is going to be changing so much, and you're going to lose things. But if you are stable and your foundation is built on the rock, which is Yahusha, if it is built on him, you will withstand all the storms, all that's coming. And I know that he has made me to be a carpenter and a woodworker, and to love doing that all throughout my life. For 33 years, I loved doing woodworking. But I believe he gave me this talent also so that he could teach me all these things about how to be built up in him. You have to have a foundation to have a good building. You have to have a cornerstone in order to have a strong foundation, right? So, everyone, these are just the thoughts that I was having tonight, and I'm not really even sharing the scriptures right now, but there is so much in this word that I'm speaking that is about scripture, because that's what this journey is for each and every one of us, is to unplug from this system so that we can be plugged into the vine, into the tree of life, because that is true life. If we are plugged into this world, we will have death, and even the second death. But if you are plugged into Yahusha HaMashiach, you are plugged into Yahuah, our Abba. And if you are plugged into that, we will be made one, as he has called us to be one, Ihad. And the only way to do this is to stay in him and endure to the end. We are not being raptured up, people. We are to inherit the kingdom with him. We know the truth, and we know what is coming, and we know who is coming. But we must live every day with humbleness and patience, and live every day the best that we can, and realize that all these minor failures we have that we think are so major is really our Yahuah pulling all these habits and things that we've had all over our lives, like wanting to have things because it's a stature thing, or it's because you don't want people to think that you're just a lazy, no good person because you don't have a job. But there's so many people right now that don't have jobs and they don't want a 9-to-5. It's because getting a college degree and all these things, it doesn't get you anywhere. You get the same job when you get out of college that you would if you stayed out of college, and you don't even have to get that big loan. But what's it all for anyway? To work for a debt system? See, it's basically going to all go away anyway, because it's just meant to be a trap. It's just meant to consume your time and your hard work and your life force. That's why there will be a day, I believe, when no man will work. Right? Because we're going to be resting with him. And the only way to rest with him is to follow after him and make it to the true day of rest. The 7,000 years, right? A day to Yahuah, and to us is 1,000 years, but to him it's one day, right? And so we're coming upon that time when he, I believe, is coming, and judgment is coming. And we have to, as it says in the scripture, basically work out our Yahusha, salvation, with fear and trembling. Picking up our tav, our stake, our cross, and following after him. And not looking back. Not looking back so that we can turn into a pillar of salt ourselves. Right? We don't want to do that. We want to walk forward. And realize that the key of knowledge is Yahuah. And we must get wisdom. Because wisdom is the most important thing, and that is Yahuah. We must be about his work, or his business, and about his Torah. Because really what you're saying that you're doing when you're about his word, his Dabar, is that you are about Yahusha. And if you are about Yahusha, our messenger, our mediator, our redeemer, then you are about the Father, the Abba, because they are one, and that is what it's all about. We are on a journey to unplug from everything and to learn of him so that we can be restored. So I really do feel that we are being unplugged by him. He is separating us. And those that truly are for him will be made Kodash. We will be and are being made separate. He will make us white as snow. He will make us to be spotless if we surrender, if we allow him to humble us, if we allow him, if we ask him to forgive us each and every day, to search out every matter in us, that we would be willing to be corrected, be willing to let our brothers and sisters even correct us, because that is who he uses. He uses everyone to teach us something. But you have to have the eyes to see and the ears to hear. It's not just about listening, it's about listening and receiving it in your mind and in your lob and making changes, right? So this journey is actually this walk on the narrow gate, the narrow path, is all about shedding off all of the nonsense, all of the traditions of the world, and cleaning yourself up to where you can walk the righteous path to be in the presence of the Most High and not be turned into dust. Because without our Yahusha HaMashiach, you will not make it. You cannot stand before the Son of Man. You cannot stand before the Most High without accepting the sacrifice and the gift that our Mashiach gave us. So, in closing, I just want to say that I see so much on YouTube now where I'm disappointed, really, in so many people that are monetizing their ministries, because it makes me not want to follow any of them, because things are being revealed, and it really is, currency really is the root of all evil, because it manipulates people, and you cannot serve mammon, money, and the Most High. You have to choose. You have to choose. You cannot serve both. If it is money that you love, currency that you love, then that is the way to death. That is the way to the opposite of salvation. But if you love and revere the Most High, you will have life. If you fear Him and you walk in the ways that He is showing you to walk, keep His commandments, guard His commandments, and keep the testimony of Yahusha HaMashiach, and never ever let it go. No matter what. It doesn't matter what man does to us. They may be able to kill the body, but they will not be able to do anything else. But fear Him. Fear the one that can take away both. He can take your flesh and has the power to send you into the pit in the second death. Fear Him. I'm paraphrasing. You can find this in Lucas 12. But fear Him. Fear the Most High. I even once, when I started this channel, came into a revelation of that, is that's the whole point of this journey, is to fear Yahuah, to reverence Yahuah, respect Him, because my channel, I first came upon Proverbs 1:7, which is the fear of Yahuah is the beginning, right? And which led me to name my channel after Proverbs 1:5, which is a wise man will hear. A wise man will shema Yahuah. All right, so with that being said, everyone, I may talk about this more, but for now I wanted to put this out because this process of being refined and humbled, and this process of letting go of things, letting go of all that we think we need, because our Creator knows best. He knows, the Most High knows what we need. We don't. We don't know what we need. He knows what we need. So with that being said, everyone, I pray this message has really baruched you. I pray that you will get some understanding from this. And I just wanted to tell you all this. I love you. And I look forward to having more conversations with everyone. And I'm going to be working on that soon. So keep coming back and interacting. And it's not about me. It's about Yahusha. It's about Yahuah. It's about the body of Mashiach coming together and helping one another. All right? So we're all here for him, but we're all here to help one another. All right, everyone. Shalom, and until next time.